Hello there, everyone. This is SoulSilver17 here. I do not own this picture, does not pay video. Alright, okay, so here's the thing. I have class tomorrow, so somewhere around 2 to maybe 1:30, wherever this video gets uploaded, I'm going to be doing the virtual what if. Then tomorrow I'll be doing the Goku, the reincarnation of Goku Black, Naruto. I'm doing that part tomorrow after I do some schoolwork. Next, I am going to do the Asta Dragon Slayer, Fire Dragon Slayer. Had to find a way how to work everything in, and I think I found the best way to. And then doing the next Son of Sparta one. I may make just a full on have everything finished up in the Dragon Slayer one in 2 more what ifs. 2 more parts. Because I am only going to after they learn. So when that year training happens, that is when I am ending the series. But then people will say, "Oh, go with the manga." Yeah, I probably am. But just it's gonna be ending, but it's gonna end during that year time skip. Basically, when he comes back, he's gonna be a lot stronger. But I'm doing it where he goes into Fairy Tail's world and trains with Natsu. Yeah. People are gonna tell me, "Oh, stop spoiling." May surprise. Well, I may change it. That's just what I'm thinking. I may not do it. So yeah. But anyways, this idea was was basically given. I still have to make what if Deku was the son of Dante, but that's gonna be later. Anyways, that's gonna be probably my 1-year anniversary on YouTube. Yeah, we're almost there. 2 more, a month from now, actually. Jeez. Wait, not even a month yet. It's still. Man. And plus, I made 5,000 before the end of the year. Oh, man. Kind of funny, but anyways. This what if. It's kind of having Kaneki come into a high school DxD. Right when Issei dies. But here's the thing. I am not having God. I'm having a God, just not God, like a Buddhist God. Buddha or God. I don't know which, but I'm having somebody. I was thinking about having Buddha open up a portal for Kaneki to go through to save, Issei's life. Issei will basically have no heart, no, half of his side is gone, and his other side, so he's missing some organs and a heart, and Kaneki will have a talisman or something. But yeah, I thought that was stupid. I thought that was stupid at first, but hey, I can always retcon that. The way I'm gonna do it now is, God just saves Kaneki's life by having him go to Issei, and Issei will have the powers of a ghoul. Ghouls don't really. There is a race of ghouls in this What If series, but they don't eat humans. They're able to eat meat, just animal meat, but not. They don't have to eat humans to survive. So they've been hidden away for a very long time, but they've dwindled down over the years. So yeah, there was only a couple of ghouls around in this series, but that's it. 4 only left, and Issei makes 5. Yeah, I had a lot of stuff planned in this what if for a little bit. If to be truthful, that was an idea I had though. Well, then I realized, hey, why make him the only ghoul around? But just don't have him eat any humans. He's able to survive off of, actual human food in this. And next thing you know, his hair will change color to white. His eyes will still be the same, but then he'll basically get this mask. Like all of a sudden he'll go to Tokyo Ghoul to get a mask. And next thing you know, he'll get. I'm thinking about making him get this, and when he comes back to High School DxD universe, boom! Like he basically can come in, just crack his finger, and his Kaguya, Kaguya, his Kaguya, freak! I had the name in my head, but he's able to use his ability to make his weapons come out of his back like Kaneki could. I hate when I always have a brain fart. But yeah, enough of me talking. Let's just get into this what if now. This is what if Issei gained the abilities of a ghoul. Well, the abilities of Ken Kaneki. Alright, so we're not starting off with Issei, because we all know that story. We're starting off with Kaneki. As Kaneki is, well, lived for many years, the doves have grown in stature to then fall. They have gained many people to, work for them, but since the ghouls have been almost extinct because of, well, the doves have, even more people than them, and their manpower is higher. They're able to even detect ghouls, even if they, don't have any, clear signs. They are using the power of a ghoul to help them out. So basically, a ghoul betrayed the ghoul race, and, he's helping killing them all. That's what they think, but, Kaneki's gonna find out the truth. That's what he's going to the Dub's headquarters. And so, he finds out that the ghouls that have been, captured by the Dubs, basically, if you know Tokyo Ghoul, then you know who the Dubs are. Basically, people that have ghouls. He found that he basically snuck in. He's trying to save his wife and kid. They were captured, so yeah. I don't should remember her name. Tenko? Hold on. Takia and his daughter, basically. But when he gets there, he finds out that the ghouls are fine. Actually. Everyone's safe. The Dove's chairman is right, behind him. He goes so, Kaneki, it's been a while. And he turns around, and it's the guy he faced one time. I don't know if he died, but I'm saying he survived in this, what if? He goes, yes, I know. It's been a long time. He goes, yeah. Why are all the ghouls here? Simple. We're protecting everyone from humans. He goes, what? If you don't know, humans have been hunting down ghouls on their own. And somehow, in some way, our weapons, the Dove's weapons, haven't gone to civilian hands. The ghoul race is almost extinct. So, we're keeping it safe. Your wife and child is alright. Don't worry, Kaneki. Why? Why you want us, want to know? Easily. We realize schools are part of society. We need them. They somehow work. We realize that we've been hunting down the world's ecosystem. The weak we go to the, get devoured by the strong, and the strong get devoured by the even stronger. But that's what ghouls, would think. But we think of it as this. There's too many too many people around. Population's big. Ghouls dwindle it down, and then, well, it's basically, keeping the balance. That's why. And so, but we do not need the king around. And he's thinking, oh crap, I'm gonna die. He goes, but You have a wife and child. So we came to an agreement that some way or form, you're not gonna need to die. You just need to disappear. But I don't think your wife would travel like that. That's what we came up with, but we're still working on, if you should live or not. You haven't really killed any, well, you haven't eaten any humans. You have killed them, just not eaten them. You've been avoiding that for years. Also, surprisingly, you made artificial, meat, human meat for everyone. That's what we also been working on that. Man, he really wants more kid, Kaneki. And, he just smiles, at him. He goes, alright. So what? What's gonna happen? Well, we don't know. All we know is that ghouls are a part of the ecosystem of society. And we can't allow a race go extinct. Even if they do kill people. So, we decided to have a, how can I say this right? Ghouls who become half human. Which everyone here went through the process. But you can't, Kaneki. That's why we were trying to decide what should we do. And Kaneki says even my wife, even Toka, got her name. Even Toka and my kid, the kid was easy to, have. It's a serum that we use. It's basically able to allow you to eat human food. But since you're the king, that's gonna be a problem. You haven't eaten though. You figured out we have to artificially make human body parts and organs and all that. So, hey, we give you credit where it's due, Kaneki. And just then, an alarm goes off. And, the guy that fought Kaneki near the end of season 2, he survived, like I said. He asked for a report. They said civilians are, getting in, and Kaneki, asked where to stay on the bottom floor, as he basically used his Kaguya and basically smashed all the way through to the bottom floor from when he was, and he goes, Kaneki, I'm protecting everyone here, including the dubs, as he just basically jumps and dies, which Toka saw him and she was like, no, Kaneki, basically, she kind of has a feeling, she knew something bad was going to happen, but, hey, she wanted to make sure her childhood could live, because humans have been killing ghouls like crazy. So, basically, when Kaneki lands on the bottom floor, he lands right in the middle of a crowd of humans. He's saying, hey, look, it's a ghoul, one of them says. As Kaneki just snickers at that, says, I'm the one-eyed king. I'm basically the king of ghouls. And I will not allow you to harm anyone here, including the humans that are dubs. Would kill us. And they go, we don't care. You're gonna... As then, all of a sudden, multiple people are dead in seconds. I'm not gonna say how, but they're dead in seconds, and this is kind of a good army. Like, the anti-ghoul, civilians. They have all these weapons, and Kaneki's just saying, now come at me. And his eyes glowing. And so, a lot of them, come at him. He's facing about 1,000 or so. And for this, I need Kaneki to die, so let's just say someone took a cheap shot, and Kaneki can basically, I know he can regenerate really quickly and survive anything, but hey, they took a cheap shot. It was a bullet to not make him able to heal real quick, so it injected him with a serum, and so they're able to hack off his arms. He's not able to regenerate. He's basically getting beat up, and he's basically almost dying. And Kaneki's fighting through all of them. And about when there's only 5 left, this is when the dubs come out. They were in shock that Kaneki was fighting for them. The dubs and the people working there, They saw like the bodies that day, and the leader is one of them. He's basically saying, how could one ghoul do this much damage? As then Kaneki just says, I am the king of ghouls. You idiot. Now, die. As then he just sends out one of, I kind of say, spear, sword, claw thing at the guy, killing him. Which the other four then just don't know what to do. But the doves come in and they arrest them. And they had them on trial for, for the murder of Ken Kaneki. Because they go, what do you mean? And he goes, as basically Kaneki says, really? I'm not dead yet. Basically one of the doves is just holding him. Toka, basically running, basically came out along for, a child. Just holding, like, basically, crying, saying, Kaneki, you idiot. Why did you? It was like, to protect my family. Every one of the ghouls of my family. And my kid. And my wife. That was the main reason also. So the guy Kaneki fight before, the ending of season 2. He comes out and he goes, you're the same as always, Kaneki. And he looks around, he sees the bodies. He basically says all these people were terrorists. Nothing more than nothing else. It was on the news. We broadcasted on the news about the ghoul race actual existence. Everyone knows that. And you were surprised about it, weren't you? Kaneki nod, because there was a broadcast before he, tried to sneak into the thing about ghouls' existence, and saying that they are trying to come up. They existed for many years, and they were making a cure for ghouls. It's not a disease though, but they're making a serum for ghouls to live like humans, able to eat like humans and such, and it was blown up on social media, like legit. It was blown up on social media in Tokyo Ghoul. They're saying ghouls actually exist and such, and then they say, oh, those weird crimes, saying, wait, ghouls eat people, so that means they were trying to survive. Some people are saying, yeah, but they're murderers and all that. Other people are saying, oh, they were just trying to survive. So it's actually a poll of about 90 people actually say ghouls are, were justified to do what they do, and and how they live, and 10% were saying they should die. They should be dead. And so now it was broadcasted about the a group of civilians that were like a part of that 10% were like about 20, no, 200. 200 or so people for trying to kill these ghouls that were being tested on to see if the serum that was working on it. But then the leader of the ghouls, Kaneki, came in and protect them, and he had no choice but to kill them because they were gonna try to kill anyone that got in their way, including other humans. And that blew up on social media about saying, oh, this group did this. Wow, how selfish are they? And then the people who are the haters, they're saying, yeah, I mean, they did right. When Ken Kaneki should be put on trial, but he's dying anyway, so that's on like live news right now, and they kind of everyone calls him a hero, or calling Ken Kaneki a hero. So like it said, like everything that happened with Tokyo Ghoul happened, survived. All the civil, I mean, all of the build, everything was rebuilt and such, and then this is happening a year or two later after it was rebuilt. So yeah, so Kaneki is dying. He's just saying, I love you both. I love you too so much. I'm sorry I couldn't stay around longer. And you can heal. He goes like, my healing slow. It's basically turned me into a human. I'm dying. Nothing more, nothing less. Like, and Toka's being upset along with his kids, so the people are, I mean, those poor people are just like laughing and saying that ghoul deserved to die. And then one of the doves basically smacked the one that said that and just says, "How dare you?" And basically they asked, "So what? You support the ghouls?" And he said, "Yes, actually, I actually fell in love with one," which surprised the guy. It was a guy who said it, and this is like a female. So basically, she fell in love with a ghoul that was there. They actually connected, and she doesn't care he's a ghoul. So yeah, and he was your traitor to humanity, and then that guy got shot in the head by, well, by none other than another dove, which that was on news, which they asked why, yeah, which everyone was like, "Whoa, did he just?" And then like there's when reporters come out and they ask, "Why did you shot him?" Kaneki's slowly dying. No one's questioning Toka, her child, the leader. I mean, the guy that was in season 2, final fight, near the final fight episode. No one's questioning him. They just letting that happen. So the guy just says, because if you let someone like him live, it'll be just another person trying to kill ghouls. They basically have balance to this world, and they're part of it. You can't basically disrupt it. Even though we were doing that for many years, we finally realized it. Ghouls can be a great asset and allies to humanity. If we just treat them right way and such. And that man, that man would have just tried to kill a ghoul. Basically, he killed Ken Kaneki. And he was going to get a death penalty by us anyway, so he was a king. The ruler of them. The one-eyed king. They asked, what does that mean? So he explained it, and then, everyone's just like understood now. So yeah, Kaneki, died. He's basically dead right now. I know it took forever. A lot of explanation. Yeah, but anyways, this is gonna be an hour-long video. No, more than an hour long. So yeah, this is so basically Kaneki died. He's in between heaven and hell. Well, he's in the void. Like, it's in between of one, like both of them. And God is there. He goes, Kaneki, I've been expecting you for quite a while now. And he goes, who are you? I was like, oh, I'm God. It's a pleasure to meet you. Anyways, here's the thing. I need you to do something for me. He goes, what? Why me? He goes, oh, because there's a certain young man named Issei Hudo who's, dying. And I need you to, how can I say this? Use your abilities. Well, you can't really transfer anything to him, but I can give you the ability to transfer your consciousness, your powers, your abilities into his body, and you'll be a part of his mind, but he'll be in all control of the powers. You just give him advice and help him along the way. That is all. So you'll be basically just in the passenger seat. As Coney goes, huh? He was like, okay, let me tell you more. So he explains the whole entire thing. Issei Hudo's dying. He basically has a power within him that is going to be a crucial thing in the world that he lives in. But he threw away the flyer that would have saved his life. And so I cannot allow him to die. He goes, but are you just God in this world? And he goes, and God just laughed. He goes, no, I'm God of all realities and multiple dimensions. But I take on different forms in those worlds. So what you see is he sees God with just white hair, slicked back, basically a teenager, wearing a black shirt and look like a punk like style clothing. Is what I would look like here if I was a human. I like to take on human form sometimes. It's more fun. He goes, alright, so what? He goes, I need you, as he snaps his fingers, just walk through this portal, and, use basically, as he walks up to Kaneki and touches his forehead, and basically then Kaneki now can, basically use his power. His basically it's how can I say this? He has the ability now to use his blood to transfer to basically Issei now, and so Kaneki understands what to do now, and so he asks about will he ever be able to come back to to his world again. He goes like, of course, Issei will have that ability because he's gonna be a ghoul, and there are really not many. There's really no ghouls in that world, so to have to know what ghouls are supposed to do and everything, you help him, but he also is gonna need a mask. So you didn't have your mask on you when you died, so he's gonna have to go and get one. He's like, all right. Yes, all right. Off you go. As Kaneki walks through the portal, and we're going to Issei's world of High School DSD. As basically Renair already left, Issei's slowly dying. And then he sees a portal open. Kaneki's walking out of it, but he sees him as a white spirit. As Kaneki asks him, do you want to live? As Issei just hold out his hand, can't say a word, as Kaneki nods. He then basically breaks his wrist, like so blood could come out of, and have Issei drink it. By doing so, since he's a spirit, Issei's basically absorbing Kaneki within his own body, and that's how I thought of it. I thought it would be like, I know it's weird and creepy. Yeah, sorry. Then when the whole entire talisman thing would have been a stupid idea, along with having Buddha, you doing the whole entire connection while having it open while Kaneki was on the run. I thought this was a little bit more decent. And so because of that, absorbing, drinking Kaneki's blood, and he's a spirit, Kaneki's gonna absorb within to Issei's body, and after an hour just lying on the ground, Issei finally wakes up, and he goes, "What the?" He basically like shoots up, like he like literally jumps up and onto his feet, checking his heart, his right side, his left side, and he's like going like, how am I alive? And then he runs to the fountain. He basically sees his hair. It's like it's basically white now, and his eye it has like only one eye. Kaneki, is in his head, and he's thinking like, then God like basically chimes in, saying, "Oh yes, I forgot to mention. I made sure Issei, I made sure that when you gave him your abilities, he will have none of he'll have none of the weaknesses, along with no hunger. So he's able to eat human food, and survive off of that." So yeah, as Kaneki says, "Why you couldn't have made ghouls have that in the first place?" He goes like, "Well, I just created one ghoul, and I didn't know there was gonna be like a whole population of them. Also, I tried. It didn't work out. I worked on I had to like freaking find a way how to. And I watched the people made basically made the serum, and I basically had that be going to you, but as the ability to not have to eat any human flesh and organs and all that." And Kaneki goes like, "All right, makes sense." So yeah, so basically, Issei's hair is white. He's basically gonna have to work on getting some muscles now, but he's like freaking out because his eye is red, and then all of a sudden like 4 different, the usual like claw, the Kageyas. I'm gonna have to look that up now because that's bugging the crap out of me. As Issei's Kagune appears, basically the 4 claws that not Issei, as Kaneki has. And so basically Issei's freaking out, and Kaneki appears in the reflection and says, "Calm down, Issei. It's all right." He goes, "What the? Who are you?" He was like, my name is Kaneki. I'm from a world where ghouls exist, and you're technically a ghoul now, but you're lucky. You don't have to eat any humans. He goes, what? And, basically he's talking to the reflection. And he goes, well, here's the thing. I died, God gave me a chance to live again, but only through you. Basically, you're in the driver's seat, the driver's seat. And I'm sitting in in the back being a passenger, watching you live your life, but I still live through you. Understand me, kid? As, Issei's nodding, he goes like, alright, so tell me about yourself. And he goes, well, my name is Issei Hudo. I am in high school. I'm a first year. I think it was 15 or 14. So I'm gonna say like he was like 15. And well, I I'm really also Issei's not a perv in this one, so no perfect Issei. And Issei says I have like two friends that are pervs. I just hang out with them outside of school, and they really get annoying sometimes. I'm not big, no girls really like me that much, and um, did I die almost? As basically, Issei has a look of fear in his eyes. I was like, and basically, Kaneki says, "Yeah, you almost died, kid. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're lucky that I came and saved your life. So, anyways, you probably should get going. Gotta get home and change your shirt." So Issei just starts running. He knows his body is a lot more faster than normal. And well, he's basically his speed is increased. So he's getting home. Like he's moving really quick. Basically right when a traffic light turned green, cars are coming. Issei sees them, he just jumps right over them. All the way to the other side, which everyone's shot, and he basically just starts running again. He's just sprinting. Issei's thinking to himself, okay, how am I doing this? What's happening? What's going on? Like, I know, a ghoul. Seriously, ghoul. I mean, I know I've read, fantasies and, fantasy stories, and may or may not have played some video games with, those, with ghouls in them, but ghouls don't have, basically he did, put the Kaganes away. He figured out how to. And, well, actually, no. Kaneki said he'll put them away, but he'll have to figure out how to, activate them and put them away on his own. So, yeah, but, he's basically, Issei's freaking out because he thinks ghouls are, undead creatures that will, eat humans and everything else. And, they don't look like humans, very much. They're like undead creatures in the night. And that's when Issei, basically thinking, and then, Kaneki says, well, that would be the main thing, but not where I come from, kid. Well, you're like me now, without the whole entire being the one I came. You're basically starting off from square one. Because what? And, he says I'll explain later. So, Issei gets home, he goes into his room, he throws away the shirt. He takes off his shirt, put on another shirt. Basically, he basically grabs the shirt with holes in it, and he threw it in a trash can. And so, Issei then goes to his computer and starts researching ghouls. And, well, what he finds out is what he knows already, and a few things that he didn't know. Like, ghouls basically are humans that are that died and everything else. But Issei, still kind of thinking, okay, so am I? Crap! What's happening? And then all of a sudden, someone appears in his room. Goes like, "Oh, hello there, Issei." As Issei turns around, goes like, jumps out of the chair. Actually, no, he falls down and hits his head on the ground, on his floor. His mom asks Issei, "Are you alright?" He goes, "Yeah, just got startled by something in my room. Sorry, Mom." As God appears, as is basically an old man. And, Issei go like, who are you? I was like, "Oh, I'm God. Nice to meet you." Well, actually, the version of me in this, I should have died in this world. I faked it, actually. I've been watching it still. But, hey, I didn't, I knew the destiny of this world, so I basically have I knew what the fate of mine was gonna have to be was fake my death and let the world be on its own. That happens a few times, kid. Don't worry. Goes, okay, so um, why you remember? Goes like, oh, I'm here to explain to everything to you on what you can do and what's your weaknesses and all that, which you don't have any, and what you're gonna become. And so God tells him. God has explained to him what like what Tokyo Ghoul is, like what the ghouls were in that world, and what their legend is about the One-Eyed King, which Kaneki became, but Issei it's not gonna be overpowered. He's already overpowered already, but because he's a ghoul. So he tells him his superhuman strength, durability, speed, reflexes, can't be pierced by knives, bullets, anything that's mortal, and also he gave him a magic resistance. His homie was like, "Yeah, kid, you're lucky. We weren't supposed to die, so that's why I had to interfere. That paper you had with a flyer from your cult club was gonna save your life, but you threw it away. So, yeah, I was not gonna allow you to die. You weren't destined to die, so I had to interfere. You're welcome." And I thought, hey, why not give you another power? He goes, another power? He was like, yeah, you have something hidden within you. You'll unlock in the next couple days or so. So don't worry. Anyways, taught the Kaneki, learn from him, train your body, get stronger, and tell your mom you need a couple days off from school. Well, tell your mom and dad. He goes, the weekend starts, tomorrow. I was like, oh, then you're fine then. Alright, kid, see ya. God disappears in a blinding light. And yeah. Issei says, that was weird, and Kaneki says, I know. Anyways, start training, kid. Let's see what you can do. As basically, Issei and, Issei is just starting working out. And yeah, he started working out. He does not sleep. He basically is not sleeping because he's like too many things are going on in his head. So he's just been working out all throughout the night into the morning. His mom, comes in and sees him just working out, and she's amazed by it. But he's up so early, just doing it. And she asks what happened. Why is he doing? He says, "Oh, I didn't sleep." She is asking how you were awake. He just says, "I just couldn't sleep, mom. I don't know why. I just have some problem sleeping." So yeah. And because he's a ghoul, I'm saying like he's able to. Well, in this one, he's able to gain muscles a lot more quicker. So since he didn't work out at all ever in his life, his muscles were aching, but he pushed through the pain and he was able to get muscles now. He basically did push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, squats, whatever he could do. He just worked on everything that he could, which Kaneki's impressed. And so he eats regular food. He doesn't feel sick. Kaneki hates him for that. He says, I'm jealous of you," basically. And Issei just kind of laughs about this, but yeah. So then Rios is trying to figure out what happened to Issei during this time. And his mom and dad ask him, what about his hair? Did he get dyed or something? He was like, no, actually. For some weird reason on my date, I woke up like this. I took a nap, and my date left and left a note saying my hair turned white and something. She didn't know what happened. Neither do I. So yeah. And they want to question it, but it looks like Issei's uncomfortable to talk about it. So yeah. So Issei, basically, is going outside. He says he's going to go for a very long walk. He probably won't be back until sometime around 5. And so he basically walks all the way to a nearby forest, in which he activates his Kagane. And he just asked Issei, though, like, how to. So he tells him about cracking his finger with one of his fingers and everything. And to activate it, which he does. He does that, and all 4 of them come out. And then he says, okay, think of what you want it to do. and then it will do it. So basically, Issei thinks of the top right one to go and hit the tree by smacking it. Like he basically is, controlling it, and it does. And then he starts. Then he basically just starts doing everything with his mind, and without thinking. It's just doing on. Basically, he's not thinking. He's just wanting to do what he wants now. And Issei's, impressed what he's doing. But, Kaneki says, this is nothing, kid. So, yeah. And so, during this time period, during this time of training, let's say, a certain person was walking by, and was just, wondering what was happening. And so, Issei was training, and she sees this. And she's shocked by this, but she doesn't say enough, she runs away. Issei's eyes is, entire ghoul eye, so basically what you see in the picture does is his left eye. So, yeah. And so, Issei's wondering, who was that? Probably nobody that I know. And no, it's not Ozzy. It's somebody that he will meet in the future. Trying to think who could it be. Yeah, let's just say it's somebody in the future he will meet. Like, I don't know. One of the girls that's gonna like him in the canon. Just need to figure out which one. Sheesh. But it won't be like, is it Novia or her friend? Issei's like childhood friend. It's not Akano or Kaneko. Not this one. Azia. No. So, I guess it could be. Freak. I don't know. Yeah, it's just some random girl in his classroom. And yeah, she doesn't know who it was or anything. But anyways, she's freaking out. Koniki just saying, okay, stop training, let's go. Let's get out of here before, she gets anyone else. And Issei just runs. He gets out of the forest and he gets into and starts playing into the city. And the girl did come back with people, but she doesn't know who it was because she didn't see it. All she saw was white hair. That was it. And yeah. That what happened the weekend. He just trained with his Kagune. Oh god, I'm messing up the name now. Kagune. Kagune. So yeah. And his ghoul strength, his physical strength has increased a lot. So yeah. When Issei returns to school, everyone is, well, like a lot of the people are wondering, well, who the heck is the new kid? Because he basically had to get like a whole new set of clothing, which surprised his parents. Turns out his body somewhat got a little bit taller too. So yeah, and stronger. And anyways, so he basically walks into school. He gets into his classroom, and everyone's just wondering who the heck he is. And then he goes, "Guys, it's me, Issei. Come, stop staring." As everyone's freaking out over it. And, well, this is not the girl that, was freaking out over the Issei, what he was doing, is in his classroom. She's in the kendo team. So, yeah. It's just some random girl. I'm not gonna name her. Like, but anyways, Akano. Basically, a girl in his classroom took a picture of him and posted it on like social media, which all her friends are freaking out over, and Akano was one of those friends, and she sees this, and she's like, "Oh, whoa," which Riz is there. She goes, Akano, what's wrong?" She goes, "Well, it looks like Issei Hudo had a little bit of a change." And what she sees is Issei wearing glasses, his hair. He basically got rid of the spiky hair and got it straightened out. He basically straightened it, and he got inherited like, he basically is wearing like different clothing than when he was in the story, which the school. He's wearing the school uniform, but he's also wearing like his casual clothing that he would wear outside of school. Shirt wise. And let's just say it's school uniform and a shirt with basically some like picture of no, not picture, basically a style to it, which looks very cool with it on while he's wearing it. And then his like pants, he has like a chain, and he has like chains all on his pants, which he has a use for it. That's like these are actually like he actually making a use out of the chains. He basically made figure out which chains was durable enough for him to ever use. So yeah. And yeah, that's all. I'm not gonna say he gets Pearson in this one. Well, he probably will in the future, but not yet. So yeah, but anyways, so a lot of people are freaking out over this. And Reese is thinking, what the heck happened to him? Akano doesn't know. Kanako, is like there, like just like waiting. If she just with them until, she has to go to her classroom, and she says, "What's wrong?" And then she sees the picture of Issei, and she's like going like, "Huh, I don't know how I should feel about this." Which Akano says, "I know how." She says, "I know how." I know how I should feel. Which which Kanako asks how. He was like, very surprised, very surprised. Like she did not expect this to ever happen to Issei. Which Kanako agrees along with Rius. They kind of saw him as the loser. Like Rius kind of saw him as the loser. Akano didn't really would ever think Issei could be actually become good looking. And Kanako just didn't really like him, not because he's not a pervert in this one, so she just didn't like him because of his friends. So yeah. His friends, come in and like saying like they see him, they're like they don't know who he is, so they say, "Hey, new guy, what's up?" And he goes, "It's Issei Hudo." And they're like, "What?" And all of a sudden they see they look and they see the girl, like some girls are blushing. Like, Issei, you're still all the girls, and he's like, "Guys, you know how I am. I don't have confidence in myself to ever ask out a girl." And they're like, "True, but still." And they try to hit Issei. Well, basically what they would usually do, like in canon. But Issei basically just dodges them, and he basically like doesn't and trips one of them to hit each other, and he just says, he goes, "Ouch, that had to hurt," and everyone just kind of laughs at that, and they go like, "Betray her." He goes like, "You betrayed me. You tried to hit me, so don't come at me, guys. Hit yourselves." And he just sits back in his seat, and it's just so then the day of the school is happening, normally, and I want to have stuff happen early. So, on the way back home after school, Issei meets Azia. And what happens is, he bumps into her, but she's about to fall. He catches her, by her, grabbing her hand, and he asks, "Are you alright?" She goes, "Yes, thank you." He goes, "No problem." They start talking. They get to know one another. She says she never, had like a normal childhood, so Issei's, giving her one. And also, Kaneki and Issei have been talking. He found out Kaneki had a wife and a child, And he feels real bad if he would ever date anyone else. Like, he'll betray, he'll think that Kanki's betraying his wife and his, he doesn't want that to happen. So, but Kanki told him, it's alright. I'm dead. They buried my body properly. So it's alright. And, he says you can date anyone you want. But, Azia is not the ship. I don't think she will be the ship in one of my Eastern What Ifs, just not this one. Because the way I'm doing it is, he doesn't join the cult club. Well, he probably will join it, but just not but he won't be a devil. Or a fallen angel. Or angel. He'll just be there. And so what happens is, Azio tells her about his childhood. Issei just, kind of gets a little bit shocking. He then asks about, like, so, would you want to go and, do something like what normal kids would do? And she goes, really? He goes, yeah. And so, they do everything like they go in canon. And everything goes somewhere to canon, along with the priest, too. So, Issei can smell blood on the guy's, hands. And he already has the guy's scent along with Azia, so he'll be able to, like, track it down. I'm making, like, he's able to do this. He'll be able to smell blood from, like, miles away. And Azia, basically anyone's scent he can, basically track, so, yeah. So, he goes home and everything. And then, well, he basically can smell blood. So, Issei's, running over, like, he was at his house, just writing down on some paper of some things of ideas he can have, a strategy, have to use his Kagune and, his, basically if he can learn martial arts with it too. But, then he smells blood. So he just opens up the window to his house and jumps out the window onto a building and just runs across building to building, like house to house, basically rooftop to rooftop. And then, like, he gets in there. He gets to the house with the blood, he smells. And when he gets there, Akano is there, and the priest is there, and Azia, in which everyone, like, he came in right when the priest was about to attack Akano. And then all of a sudden, Issei just sees Azia and Akano and the priest, and he just looks at the priest, and she goes, the blood of someone, you smell like you have blood on your hands, priest. I didn't know a natural priest could do this. And so the guy does say something like he does in canon, and as Issei just then kicks the guy right in the stomach, sending him flying into the wall, which surprised everyone. He just puts his leg back down. He just goes, you really are disgusting. Which did not kill the guy. But Issei looks at Akano, and then he just asks, why are you here? She goes, just visiting a friend of mine? He doesn't care much. So he walks over to Azia and grabs her hand, and they walk out. So while they're walking, Asia's saying, Issei, how did you find me? And he goes, I smelled the blood. She goes, what? He goes, look, I'm not 100% human, alright? Well, I mean, I'm human, just not really human. It's hard to explain. She goes, how? So he turns around and he has one of his eyes closed, the left one, and then he opens it and she sees this. The black and the red eye, which freaks her out a little bit, and he says, I'm a ghoul. Just turned to a ghoul a couple of days ago. I already kind of mastered my abilities and powers. Well, what I can do already. Don't worry, I don't eat humans. I don't need to, actually. I can survive on normal human food. It's pretty simple. She goes, alright. And basically, they're walking and basically talking. He deactivated the eye, so it's like she's like wondering how did this happen and stuff. And he just hears her she hears him telling her how. And it was a short story, so yeah. Then Renair, comes in, hits Issei. She doesn't know who he is though, because he looks totally different. Like he changed. So she goes, "Sorry about that, cutie, but I had to take this girl away from you. We needed her secret treasure, so bye." And Spear of Light hits the ground, making a dust cloud. So yeah, Akane was following them, and Issei notices that she's basically about to leave. So she uses a magical circle, in which then Issei basically jumped into it, along with her, and yeah, Akane, like Issei's right behind Akane, and well, Rias is shot along with Akane, and they basically Rias says, "Who are you?" And basically he shows her face. Wait, not he. I mean, he shows his face, not her face, but yeah. Sorry, words jumbled in my head. What if, gosh. Why can't I calm down? I'm just worried about this. I'm just worried on this what if isn't gonna be good. But anyways, so he says Rias Gremory, right? She goes, yes. He goes, who the heck is Renair? She goes, a fallen angel. Fallen angel? She goes, yeah. Okay. So there's angels, right? She goes, yep. And what else? Devils. He goes, devils. She goes, that's what we are. He was like, okay. She goes, what happened to you? He was like, oh, I became a ghoul. He goes, what? A ghoul? Something that eats human flesh. Kills people to eat them. Well, I don't eat humans. I eat regular food. And then he goes, how are you a ghoul then? He goes like, he shows the red eye, activate his Kagune, and he goes, simple, right? She's kind of a little bit, scared. She goes, yeah, simple. He deactivates both of them, and then, he basically says, she said something about secret treasure. And, well, so she goes, what do you mean? He explains her, what Azia told him about she could heal people. So they say, oh, right. They think that they'll go to a church, and the only church in town, like the one in Cannon. So, but, they tell Issei, thank you for the information, you're not gonna, be, needed there. He's like, what? What do you mean? And they say you're just not gonna be needed. And they, teleport him out of there. And Issei just gets mad. He was like, Rias Grummy, you're such an idiot. If only I could. I have the power. I have power. I have speed. I have a weapon. I can use this to my advantage. I just have to have a mask. They'll recognize me. I need something. As then, Issei just says, not Issei, Konaki says, God did say you're able to go back to my world, so we can get you a mask there, man. I was, wait, what? He goes, yeah. I don't know how it's gonna work, as then, he just says, think of, then he says, Konaki, basically Issei says, think of your world, I guess. So he thinks of his home, like his kid, and his, and, Tenko. And then a portal opens, in which Issei walks through it. Let's say time to move, the same way. So it's been a couple of days, and they are, reporting the news that Ken Konaki is a hero. Ghouls society and human society coexist now. And Issei, he has the white hair, he doesn't look like Konaki. He looks like Issei, just with strained hair with no spike. And he takes off, the school uniform, No, he just keeps he keeps on this. He was already in like his regular clothing, so it's just a long sleeve shirt and a necklace with a dragon and basically boots, like black pants, red long sleeve shirt. So yeah, so he's just walking around, and Konoki's telling him to go to different directions. Says the ghoul that was that makes mask, he's still around. I just don't know his name. I can't remember. But anyways, Kaneki basically told him where to go, and he gets there. He basically gets into the shop as he opens it up, and the shop owner that's the ghoul, with all the tattoos and piercing, says, "Welcome. What can I do for you?" He goes like, I need a mask. As then he activates the eye and says, for this. He goes, oh, right. He goes, what the? How? He goes, listen, I don't need. Oh, wait. I'm going to look up his name. Hold on. Okay, found out his name. Yuta. So, Yuta goes like, that. You're a one-eyed ghoul. There hasn't been one since Kaneki. He goes, yeah, long story short, man. Kaneki came into my reality, saved my life because of God. Alright? Wait, you mean, it was, yeah. I basically, he explains how he almost died to him about, it was a freaking fallen angel that nearly killed him, and that there's angels and devils when he's lived and such. And that he's going to need a mask. And, then he says, I wonder, could the mask Kaneki wore fit your face? I should have it around here since Toka, brought it over here. Which Kaneki's in his head saying, what? Dude, if you had my mask, that'd be freaking awesome. Which Issei says out loud, says, Kaneki, he can't hear you. And Yuta says, what? He's in my head. Basically, it's like I'm the one who's driving, he's in the back seat, just watching. I was like, oh, okay, I got what you mean, man. So basically, he goes into the back. A few minutes later, he comes out with Kaneki's mask. And so, he says, put it on. As then, he puts it on, and it fits perfectly on him, actually. Plot reason. That's the only reason why. And though he says, huh, so what's with the whole entire zipper thing? And he goes, oh, that's for when you need to eat people. That's for him to stop. And then Issei basically, says, I don't actually never need to eat people, man. I can survive off of normal food. You have a burger, right? A hamburger? He's like, what? Wait, what do you mean? You literally can eat human food without... Did you get the serum or something? Like, he goes, no, actually. Like I said, God brought him to my world. He goes, so that means God made him have the ability when he transferred, everything to me without the weaknesses. I don't have to ever eat human food, eat ever humans. I can eat human food. Which Yuta is surprised. So he says, alright, let me redesign the mask then. He's, says, it does look good on you, but it's missing a couple of things. He's gonna, get rid of the mouth part and keep those two things on the side. So, what happens is, Yuta, goes to the back and starts designing the mask again. He basically redesigns it to... It's still the same way. The same look, the same style, it just has no zipper, no mouth. Like, it has no teeth. But instead, for some weird reason, it has, like, symbols on it. Like, weirdly. Now, it has, like, two... It still has those two things on the side of it, but then it has, like, some, like, extra... No, I'm joking. It has on the eye patch another eye. Like it has like that look where Kaneki would have as the one-eyed king, the one-eyed ghoul king. I that it's like right near the eye patch part. So, but it says in memory. There's like that one eye that Kaneki would have as the one-eyed king, and it says in memory of Kaneki, the Ken Kaneki. And he says, "Here, I had to redesign it all, but it wasn't that bad." And he says, "How much?" Issei asks. And he goes, "Oh, well, you're not from this reality, so nothing actually. Just take good care of the mask." And he promised him he will. So Issei puts it on, and then he thinks, "Now, how do I get back home?" As then he just starts thinking of his home. As then the portal opens up right in Yuta's shop. As Yuta, sees that area where Issei was, and he was like, "Huh, lovely place you have there. Here's thanks. Thanks, Yuta. If I need another mask, I'll come by again. Just don't die on me, alright?" He goes, "I won't." And, Issei goes into the... I don't know if Yuta died, so I'm saying this one he doesn't die, just in case, but yeah. So Issei goes into his, back home. And it was, like, in the afternoon, so basically that night. So Issei, follows the scent of the priest, along with Azia. And, well, when Issei basically has the mask on, he slicked his hair back, and let's just say he had enough like of his hair slicked back he could put it into like a ponytail. Yeah, no, he just slicked his hair back. The ponytail idea was stupid. But yeah, he just slicked, basically made it go back, and then his eye is red, and he has the mask on. And so, while Rias and Akano are taking care of the fallen angels, Kaneko and Kiva are attacking on the ground. But Issei runs in from the back and smashed right through the window. And there's two people, like two other fallen angels inside the room as Kaneki took his Kagune out and stabbed both of them, basically killing them. And then he throws both of the bodies like over to the side, as he then follows the scent. As he figured out there's an underground passage, and then he basically used the basically cracked his fingers. The Kagune's basically opens up the secret passage, and he just walking down the stairs, and everyone hears it, just the sound of someone walking. Nobody really knows who it is. Azia doesn't know, and well, Azia's still gonna become a devil in this one, but so Issei just goes in, like basically he gets down to the bottom, and Renair is like going like, huh? It's that guy from before. And the priest says, "Hey, that's the guy who kicked me in the stomach and hurt me. I hate you, you stupid friggin'." And then it's all of a sudden Issei activates the Kagune, and everyone's just shocked. And he basically in a cold voice he says, "Let go of her before I end all of your lives." Which the people on the ground floor are just trembling in fear because they don't know what that is. And the priest is only just being quiet, which Renair just doesn't know what to do. As all of a sudden he hears another voice. He goes, "Huh, so this is what you're doing so this is what you are now." Which he goes, "Huh?" As then all of a sudden on his left hand arm, basically the boosted gear comes out, but it adapted to him becoming a ghoul, which it also changed. It comes out to be like the Kagune, the Kagune. It comes out as being like red and like looking like different cracks in it in form, which kind of looks cool. But it still looks like also like the gauntlet. He was like, "Who are you?" He was like, "I am Drake." the Welsh dragon. But it seems that I have changed because of what you became. So you can probably call me, well, the ghoul Welsh dragon. Issei says, that's a stupid name. He was like, it's a work in progress, kid. Anyways, enough talk, gotta go save your friend, right? He was like, yeah, true. Issei just, uses like the two top part of the Kagene's claws basically to go into like the ceiling and pull himself over, and which then he lands right in front of Azune. Why am I messing up her name now? Azia, and he basically then like cuts the chains, and when she falls and he catches her, she goes, "Who are?" And then she sees the eye. She goes, "He," and he. She can already tell that he's telling her to be quiet, and Renee goes like, "You're, what are you?" He goes, "I'm the Welsh Dragon Emperor," which, let's just say Kaneki is telling him what to say. She goes, and I am the very first of my kind, too. She goes, what? What do you mean, very first? He goes, I am a ghoul. And you'll never be able to kill me. Not the likes of you, that is. She goes, what? As then just next, she gets smacked by one of the, the Kagenes. She gets sent flying into a wall, which kills her on impact. Like, he broke her ribs. So, no. Nope, changing it. Nope. I think... No, he smacks her. She goes sent flying into the wall, and she's stunned. And he just looks at her, he goes, you really thought you could kill me before, you stupid idiot. She goes, you say? And so, yeah, he basically just walks away. And now, I have no idea if anybody will want this to work, but I'm saying Renair could be a potential ship. I don't know. I said potential. But probably really not. But yeah, so Issei's just walking with Azia in his arms. Drake is a mixture between the actual, gauntlet, but also a Kagune. Which, Kaneki doesn't understand how. But, by the time, Issei and Azuna get up, Kiba, Kaneko, Rias, and Akuno are all there. And basically, Issei, puts Asuya down, and he says, "You're welcome." And he just jumps right into the window that he came out of, that he came through, which Rias doesn't know how was he able to get through so easily. And so, basically, Issei's just running with the mask on, and Drake, is explaining who he is. What he can do, what's his power, and that his emotions and who he is will depend on Issei. The boosted gear responds to his feelings, and the more he trains, the more he works at it, he'll also, the boosted gear will actually, grow with his potential, as he says. Alright, so, basically, Issei, decides to become, well, let's just say this. He goes around the city and starts to fight random people. By random people, I mean people that are just, doing crime. And, it's pretty amazing how he's just doing it very efficiently. He does get a couple of shot wounds, but he's able to heal real quick. And boom, he just punches the dude, sending him flying right into something. And he actually saved a couple of people too. Renair, left the, place, even the priest got out of there along with everyone else. And Renair, sees Issei doing this during that same night too. They call him the vigilante, and the police are looking for him too. After that, he stopped about 15 crimes in one night. And then he gets home. And he just falls asleep. And then the next day for school, Azia, Azia basically, is gonna, be there again, like in canon, but, but that's after talking to his parents, and, yeah, so, Ace goes to school, and, Rias is just waiting, and, waiting from, like, the front gates of the school for him, and she goes, Issei, we gotta talk. He was like, fine, whatever, let's go. And so, she's talking to him saying, thank you for helping us, and I'm sorry if I disrespected you. It's cool. So what you need to talk about? He goes, about Azia. She has no place to go, no family to go back to, and she's a part of my entourage, so I would like for her to help stay with you. You'll be there to protect her, and it'd be much nicer to have, someone there to help her out if she needs it. He thinks about it, he goes, sure, just let me talk to my parents. She goes, alright, can you do that today? He goes, actually, he grabs out his phone, calls up his mom, calls up his house, his, mom answers. He explains the situation to her. She says, oh, we'd love to have her over. Just have, whoever, she's staying with, tell them. And then, he hangs up. He says, my mom says, okay. Just have her pack up everything she has and, get her to my address, alright? She says, alright. So, after that, he goes to his class. Everything's going similar, normal day. He says, becoming good. Studying. Good study. And being like just non-talkative, just being more quiet. Let's say in this one, he was like, well, he didn't really pay much attention in school, which his grades are like at least a C. He's bringing them back up to like a B. He's reading a lot more too. So, which some girls are, wondering like, why is he always having a book? So yeah. What else? What else can I put in here? Let's see. Oh well, Issei, after school, he doesn't go home. He goes to a area he goes basically back home, and then he just starts working out, just training, and then all of a sudden, like, he hears someone at the window, which he basically opens up the curtains, and he sees Renair. Renair asks if she can come in. He says, fine. He opens up the window, she, flies in, and she looks at his room. She is shocked. He goes, basically she asks, what happened to all of these, like, I heard that you were a pervert or something. As Issei says, wait, what? Is that why all the girls hated me? She goes, yeah, actually. Oh my god. I wasn't a pervert. I just had two stupid friends that were. Association. Basically, just because I was with them, they thought I was. Great. I hate that. Anyways, what do you want, Renair? She says I wanted to come to apologize. It was like, alright, what else? Just to talk to you. He goes, alright. What else? She says, nothing more. He goes, seriously, that's it. Just came over here to apologize to me. You had to come over to me in your fallen angel form and talk to me. You really think I'm attracted to that? She goes, aren't you? He's like, maybe a little, maybe not. That's for you to know. That's for you to find out me to know. She goes, why are you mad at me? He goes, you freaking killed me! Nearly! I had to have somebody from another reality come here and save me. She goes, oh, sorry. And she goes, what were you doing? He goes, working out. She goes, really? He goes, yeah. Got a problem with that? She goes, nope, not at all. Do you mind if I stay here? I was like, while I'm working out. She goes, yeah. He goes, no, get the freak out of my room. And she goes, no. And they're just arguing, and then all of a sudden, Renee laughs, and so does Issei. She transforms into her human form, and she goes, so, how is it being different? You know, and what are you now? So he explains what a ghoul is and such. I mean, she says she already knows what ghouls are, but ghouls aren't like what he is. He explains. He says that's what I'm explaining about. And she goes, oh, okay. So he does. Also, she asks why you fought some crime because like it's a good way to test my skills out. Also, kind of trying to learn martial arts, especially by reading and doing online tutorials and all that. So, had to try something. Just oh, all right. So there's like a little bit of moment of awkward silence. Then he says, "So, did you really just date me just so you could kill me, or did you actually want to date me?" Renee's just silent. And Issei thinks figures. She says, "Well, it was because of whatever you had that was inside of you. That's that I had to kill you, but I really did enjoy our date. You know, it would be nice if we could, do another one." And Issei just scratched the back of his head and goes, "I don't know, Renee. I don't know, but hey, we'll see. All right." She nods and then she says, "I'm gonna go then." She brings out her wings and her human forms, and she looks right back and she sees Issei, and Issei sees her in a very, very like upset, like she's upset, and she flies away. And Issei just thinking, maybe I should give her a chance, or at least accept her apology. Life is rough. And Kaneki says you have no idea. And then the doorbell rings, in which Issei goes down and answers the door, and it's Azuya and Akano. Akano helped out Azuya bring her stuff over, in which Issei is able to lift like two, four heavy boxes by himself, which is amazing to both of them. He brings them inside the house. Issei's mom is, in the kitchen. She tells Issei where to put them. So he goes. He basically just is bringing all the boxes in by himself, and yeah, he tells Azuya, that he's gonna help her out and such, and everything. But she says thank you. So, and then he says also, if the girls tell you anything about me at the school, it's just because of my friends that I hang out with. She goes, why? He goes, they're pervs. So the girls at school think I am one too. And she goes, are you? I was like, no. Honestly, I don't really need to worry about what my friends do. I don't follow them or do anything. All I do is just come home, hang out, go to the arcade or something, go watch a movie and read books. That's all I do. And yet I still get called that. And Azuya thinks a little bit upset. So she has to see his room, which Akano is curious too. As they see, it's basically books, video games, and a little bit of as basically Akano says, is that it was yeah, models. I get bored, so I build stuff. I like to work on models too. Basically, it's like one of those that those hobby making models of airplanes or toys or anything really. So yeah, she goes, that's neat. He goes, thanks. It's just something to do. In which Akano says she's gonna go now, and Azuya says she's gonna unpack everything. Which he says, all right, I'm gonna take a nap. I'm tired. And which that happens. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna end this video, everyone. Hope you guys like it. Sorry about if it's all over the place. I thought about it. Most of the idea I have was what I said in the beginning, and it didn't really work out what I thought. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And next is the Virgil. The Rin was the reincarnation of Virgil. So yeah. Bye everyone.